Your dreams had been fitful all night. A collection of hazy memories and electric jolts that left your heart beating a frantic staccato. All context of the cinema put on by your mind was doused in obscurity, draped in a thin veil of shapeless terror. Now you're awake. Your body is hot beneath a winter blanket. Around you, the room is still dark. Quiet, save for the chittering of restless birds in the tree outside your window. Your eyes slide to the window, tracing the familiar etching of branches beyond the glass. Before, you used to shudder at how the branches would scratch and tap against the window, like something was begging to be let in. Despite now knowing better, you can't shake the stuttering in your veins, the inexorable feeling of wrongness itching beneath your skin. You make to move, swinging your legs off the bed when your breath catches, swollen beneath the rising pressure in your chest. No, not in, on. Some invisible force is pressing into you like oversized hands. The springs creak and pop beneath you. Your breath wheezes as your burning eyes roll in their sockets. Searching. You can't move. Can barely even think beyond the mounting terror. Desperate, you try to open your mouth to scream, yet your jaw stays locked and aching. Reason bleeds from your mind. And in that moment, your wild eyes catch on something in the corner of your room. There, lurking in the early morning dark, stands a figure. It is too tall, too stretched. Its mass blacker than the shadows surrounding it. Your breath quickens, ribs groaning beneath the mounting pressure. Slowly, you take in the sight of the thing. You think it's a man by the way it stands, even if its shoulders hunch past the top of your doorway, even if its smile is jagged and white and torn from ear to ear, even if the underside of its black hat is lined with blinking red eyes, even if. This is Remnants. I'm Emily.
And I'm Kayla.
Turn on your nightlight.
Pour something strong.
You'll be up long after the story is done.
Are we going to be up late tonight after the story is done?
I hope so. Or, maybe you'll sleep so well that you wake up and you still can't move.
Have you ever had that happen?
No.
You've really never had sleep?
I have sleep running. I am extremely mobile in my dreams.
That is wild, because I've had it happen a lot more when I was probably like a teenager. I've never seen anything, but I've definitely had that where it's my brain is awake, but it won't. It's super scary.
Yeah.
I'll be move your arm, move your legs, and nothing's happening, and then you panic.
See, I've had a weird...
I haven't had one recently, though.
And I'll get into the science of it a little bit more later, but I've never had the moment where I can't move, but I've definitely had the moments where I'm still dreaming while I'm awake, because I remember very specifically, and this happened kind of in batches, I feel like. I had a dream where I woke up and I thought there were huge bugs on the walls of my room, to the point where I jumped out of bed and ran out. And then I stood there for a little bit and I was like, the fuck? That wasn't real, right? And I went back, and my partner at the time was in bed, and I was like, did you fucking see the bugs on the wall? He was like, no, crazy. I was like, okay, I go back to bed then.
Wow, this is kind of like a waking dream sort of thing?
I will have the thing where I'll wake up and because I've seen a shadow figure, and I wonder if maybe that was kind of the same thing, because I'll get into it later too, but there are some similarities with some of the sleep paralysis hallucinations, and the shadow figure I saw, specifically, apparently they always like to appear in a doorway, and that's where I saw a shadow figure, and the whole thing with that is the liminal space, and the pausing at entryways and things like that. It's interesting, and we'll again talk about that more later, but I don't know. I think there might be something to it with there are a lot of consistencies across hallucinations. Maybe we all hallucinate the same thing. I don't know. Giant bugs don't seem to come into that much though, but
be giant butterflies if it was my
Yeah,
nightmare.
mine were cockroaches. It was
Ew, actually, that's worse. You know what?
It was very Kafka.
I would take a butterfly over a cockroach.
Yeah, ever since I read The Metamorphosis, cockroaches hit different.
Yeah.
It's the only book that's ever given me a visceral, like, this is disgusting reaction.
Okay, I will not ever read that book.
Oh, it's good. It's well written, but...
Nope, I'm good.
Gross.
There's like 50 books on my TBR, so I don't need to add one that's going to be gross.
I hated it. We're so off topic. ADHD. I hated it so much, but like I was always in advanced like lit classes at school, and I had read it so much that I was really good with it. So like anytime we got to pick our own book, I was like, fucking guess I'll do The Metamorphosis. Hate this bitch.
But I can really talk about it.
Yeah, I know about it. I like the symbolism, I guess. But you talk about a cockroach oozing white goo. It's like as soon as we start recording, my brain's like, tell them everything.
Well, I also feel like we did this a little different because we like kind of immediately started talking about your topic, but
We did, and then we went off.
So we could backtrack. Is there any updates we want to talk about?
Actually, yes. I was lectured intensely by my child, who informed me quite clearly that ghosts aren't real.
He knows.
Very violently. I should have pulled this up already. Let me pull it up because I think everybody needs to hear what he said to me.
So
it was quite hurtful, if I'm being completely honest. My feelings.
He's just dismissing your whole side hobby.
He's dismissing pretty much everything.
No, I mean, he knows everything.
He really does, and he's made it very apparent that I am quite silly. I'm very dumb lady.
Says the 5-year-old.
Says the 5-year-old. I'm a dumb lady. It must be dumb because I can't find even the one thing I'm trying to find here. So this is the recording of my child harassing me horribly.
And then we were talking about that for a while, and then we started talking about ghosts because he gets mad at me and says ghosts aren't real. They're just people in costumes.
I'm just telling you. I'm trying to tell you the truth.
I'm telling you I believe in ghosts. What?
They're not real. What is the matter with you? They're not real.
But in the middle of this conversation, he goes,
No, what is the matter with you? They're not real.
and in the middle of this conversation,
They're not real. What is the matter with you? They're not real, bro.
he just says, that's my schema. And I'm like,
Can I
what?
push this?
No, don't push it.
What happened?
It'll eject you into space.
What? No,
Yeah.
it won't.
Yeah. But he said, that's my
No,
schema.
it won't.
What the heck?
No, it's gonna.
Going on.
No, it's gonna
Freaking
open
college
this.
professor.
It's gonna open this.
No.
No, it won't. What's gonna even
Because I'm gonna do that, bruh. Anyways.
I'm so like, it's the truth.
I'm trying to tell you the truth. Yeah. So that's how my kid talks to me.
Not always.
Not always, but more often than not.
Well, he's learning everything.
Well, he's just way smarter than me.
Yeah.
I hope when he's older he goes ghost hunting with us and I can tell him, remember that time?
Or he can be
harassed
like
me?
the Shane of our group.
Yeah. He's gonna be tall enough to be, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And also as like a warning, I have really bad nasal drip because of allergies, so I sound disgusting. I like keep pausing to collect spit. Like, sorry.
It's alright.
I just need to breathe. I'm like a pug.
Yeah, you.
So, yeah.
Welcome to spring.
It's pretty cool. It's beautiful. I love flowers.
So pretty.
It's so nice.
They try to suffocate you, basically.
Like, are you happy about the spring? And I've been getting like a weird rash whenever I get too warm, so I'm not ready. I'm so not ready for spring. I go out in the sun for a little bit. I'm like, what the fuck are all these times?
What's happening?
I just wanted to enjoy my life.
You're trying to love nature.
I can't. My body says no.
Nature does not love you back.
I need to get like one of those old lady big hats and just hide.
Yeah?
Every time the sun comes out, I'm like, I love you, but you don't love me.
I think so. This is your future. Like, tomorrow future.
It's really depressing.
Yeah. Well,
Here we are.
Here we are.
So going back to the intro, as you probably guessed, that was a snippet of what it might be like to wake up with sleep paralysis from somebody who's never had it. The dramatized version of it, I suppose. But it's a phenomenon that millions of people experience around the world every year.
So I'm not unique.
Not at all. Oh, except you are unique. What happened to you that you were like, oh, that's normal, right? Your sleep weird thing you had, remember?
Yeah, it's like I don't even know if it's necessarily a form of sleep paralysis, but they tend to happen in the same conditions where, like, I'll be sort of semi-awake, and then I hear someone, like, either yell my name or yell just, like, hey, and it, like, wakes me up.
Just casually having auditory hallucinations.
Yeah.
You're like, no biggie.
But I guess that's...
That's so freaky.
I thought I was normal.
No, I don't think you are.
Okay, well, finding this out late in life.
Well, actually, I guess you are kind of normal because scientifically, all of it is explainable for the most part. It's kind of a regular occurrence. I mean, we'll get into the weirder parts of it later, but a lot of the basic mechanisms that cause this to happen are relatively normal. But, you know, basically sleep paralysis is just, you know, you wake up mostly, but you can't move. So in a lot of ways, you're just like trapped in your body.
Yeah, it's freaking scary.
Yeah, as you know, I'm probably going to have it tonight now that I've talked about it.
Yeah.
So obviously that alone sounds terrible. But the strangest part for me, at least, is that hallucinations are extremely common during sleep paralysis. And that also can be explained, but we're going to go into deeper detail later on why that is still seen as such a paranormal aspect, because it's weirder than just hallucinations. I'll say that for now.
Well, and I'll interrupt you too. I've had dozens of sleep paralysis throughout my life, but I've never hallucinated.
That's interesting. I wonder what...
It's always just like, I feel like I'm just like in a black, like I can't see anything. It's almost like I'm like a blind paralysis too.
I've heard that too, though, because my grandma used to have, she had night terrors, but then she also had sleep paralysis, and hers was definitely where she just couldn't move, couldn't see, couldn't scream.
Yeah, that's how mine is.
Yeah, which is interesting because she did have really vivid dreams, but whenever she had the sleep paralysis, it was just literal total paralysis, which is, it's so weird.
It is weird.
All right, so people experiencing sleep paralysis, like I said, the hallucinations, it's extremely common for people to see, hear, and feel things in the room with them. And of course, all of that's happening while you can't see or speak, or you can't move or speak. It's interesting that yours is you can't see, move, or speak, and you're not hallucinating. I don't know what's worse, to be honest. They all sound terrible.
Yeah. It's, I'm kind of glad I haven't had one for a while, because it was super scary.
The basic, like, science behind sleep paralysis, it's less scary than it seems when you're having it, though, because basically what's happening when you have it is your brain wakes up while your body stays asleep. Like, literally only half of you has gotten out of something called, like, a REM lock. So sleep is, like, actually weirdly complicated. We have multiple cycles we go through while we're sleeping, and each of them tend to be about 90 minutes long. And REM, or rapid eye movement, as you probably know, is a cycle that looks like this. You basically have temporary body paralysis. Your brain activity is almost as active as it is when you're awake. You have extremely vivid dreams, and your eyes are moving rapidly beneath your lids because your brain is really active at the time. Like, so basically your brain, you're paralyzed because it has a built-in safeguard to keep your body from moving during these vivid dreams. Because otherwise, if you're dreaming you're running, you might fucking get up and run.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, so essentially what's happening is, and there's a specific thing, this is called like REM atonia. Like, it's literally your brainstem sends a signal to your spinal cord to not, like, let your basic voluntary muscle movements happen while you're in that. It's to protect you from hurting yourself, basically, while you're asleep and having these dreams. So it's supposed to protect you. Maybe I don't have that because I get up and go. Oh, yeah. But that's what's supposed to happen. That's naturally your body's doing the correct thing. But what happens when you have sleep paralysis is your sleep is disordered. So you can have that atonia, that lock that you're supposed to have, but your brain will wake up before your body gets the signal to release your muscles again. So you're awake, but you're still in that lock state. And usually from there, the sleep paralysis can occur for like a few seconds to a couple minutes before your body gets everything back in sync and is like, oh, okay, she's no longer in this cycle. She can move again without hurting herself. But in the meantime, you're stuck being awake, being like, well, shit, I can't move. So this, you know, you've got that natural system that makes sense. But it is during that time that you can also have hallucinations when you're kind of awake, kind of not. This happens because when you're in that disordered REM sleep, you're still producing, you know, that vivid imagery in your head. So you can actually have dreams while you're awake because your brain is still firing off how it's supposed to during that vivid period of sleep. But nothing's caught up correctly yet. So, like, your brain's awake. It's still producing the images. You still can't move. Your body's like, what the fuck? What's happening? So this is what leads to those waking dreams, and all the symptoms, you know, in summary that you can have at this time are the paralysis, hallucinations, and chest pressure. The chest pressure is probably another thing that sounds scarier than it is, because basically what's happening is your body's panicking because of all of this. So it's creating that heavy breathing feeling, and also your muscle movements are actually inhibited. So there is tightness because you can't move your body.
Yeah.
You're basically having a panic attack, which is cool, you know.
So cool.
But what's happening is, like, your amygdala, which is the part of your brain that processes fear, it's in overdrive because when you're hallucinating something, it actually thinks it's in the room. So it perceives a real threat, but you can't move. So it sends it into overdrive because you're like in this horrible waking nightmare, but you can't move and you can't breathe. And your body thinks it's external, but it's all internal. So it's really cool, huh? It's awesome.
Yeah, but I guess maybe I'm glad I do just see blackness. I don't know.
Yeah, so that probably keeps you from getting in that full fight or flight survival mode because, like, yes, you're terrified, but maybe you're not perceiving an actual threat in the room with you, which might keep you from getting in the full-blown panic that a lot of people have. Because, like, it's basically a night terror meets paralysis meets I'm awake. So.
But, like, maybe I'm interrupting you, but, like, but why is it always a scary thing? Why can't it, you're hallucinating, like, you know, I can't even think, a happy little teddy bear.
And there can be, like, and that's part of it, like, some of the science is still a big question, and I kind of get into that a little bit, but I think there are people that theorize, you know, like, if your body's feeling under threat, your brain's going to create an image that matches it. So you can psychologically say, because, you know, a lot of the times, I mean, our brain completes the image that we're seeing to make it a clear picture. Like, we're not actually seeing a full solid image. Our eyes are separated. Right. Our brain is completing the image. It does that with a lot of things. Mm-hmm. So if in your head you're having these vivid dreams, your amygdala is triggered to think there's a threat. Feasibly, I mean, your dreams are being created in your head, so are your hallucinations in a lot of ways. If you're having the experience, it can create the visualization to be a monster. The interesting thing, though, is that the monsters tend to have a lot of similarities. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
like a monster can be at different things.
Yeah, they don't seem personal to the people, which is a good segue into what I have next. Because, you know, we were talking about the science a lot, but this isn't a science podcast. So what is it about sleep paralysis that has kept people feeling like this is more of a paranormal, or maybe part science, part paranormal encounter?
Alien abduction?
Yeah, I didn't even touch on aliens because fuck them little green midgets. What?
I didn't know she was so anti-alien. Man.
I don't really love aliens that much. I'm sure they're there. I think that's maybe why I'm like, nah.
I think that one, I find it interesting, but yeah, it's more about...
I prefer ghosts.
They're almost more... It's not, I believe in aliens, but it's almost like more, it seems more unbelievable than ghosts. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, because I feel
more fantastical in a way.
I feel like I think in my head I've decided aliens are just going to be really disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be like they're either a super underdeveloped hamster, or they are going to blow us up, or...
It's going to be anticlimactic.
Yeah, just like, oh, Bob's here.
Okay.
All right, cool. Everything's the same.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a weird segue.
Anyway, sorry. Bob. Bob the alien.
I don't know. And then I just say things and I'm like, what the fuck?
Back on track.
Yeah. So obviously up until now, we've been glazing over the topic of hallucination. So now we're going to get into that a little bit more.
Let's get into it.
So all across the world, all across time, people have been encountering sleep paralysis. And weirdly enough, these people have all been encountering the same sort of hallucination. So people often see shadow figures. It's a given. Shadow figures, I feel like everybody sees them. You've seen them.
Me, I have now. I add me to the
awake,
club.
but
Yeah, that was, that was crazy.
But yeah, so shadow figures, they see entities standing at the foot of their bed. They see demons on their chest. And they see beings in hats and cloaks. So stories and art of creatures preying over humans in their bed have existed throughout history. In Europe and early America, an entity known as the night hag was shared as a folkloric piece of the sleep paralysis lore. And there's literally art of this, and I'm sure you've seen it. It's pretty common in like any folklore not literature, if that's the word I'm looking for. But she was depicted as an old woman or a crone that was believed to crouch on people's chests and steal their breath while whispering or laughing.
Ugh.
And you know, back then there was no scientific explanation for sleep paralysis. There was a witch on your chest. Or, you know, maybe it's always been a witch and we just decided to explain it with science. I don't know. The weird thing is that in Japan, and this is an old story, but...
So yeah, they couldn't, these cultures couldn't have talked to each other.
Yeah, no. And this is an old story, but apparently they still to this day use this word, which I'm probably going to mispronounce, but it's kanashibari. That's what they describe as an entity, a spirit that sits on people's chests. And it whispers and breathes in the room with them. And it was also, it's not depicted as much as an old woman, but it's just an entity on your chest.
Maybe that's who's whispering to me.
Yeah. Do you feel pressure in your chest ever?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, in Newfoundland and their folklore, stories exist of the old hag. People can be what they call hag-ridden because this old hag will creep into the room and sit on their chest at night and paralyze them while eating their fear.
Yeah.
And this is interesting because this ties into more modern sleep paralysis stories, but the reports are that the hag notices when her victims notice her. Like, she is aware of them.
Oh.
And when they see her, she behaves differently.
Oh, like...
That persists into today's stories, and we'll get into that more. Okay. But, like, yeah, it's creepy because that is a continuous thing with the hallucinations behavior changing when they're noticed. And that's really scary. This I'm going to pronounce insanely wrong, but it's like a pisadira of Brazil is another hag-like woman spirit that crouches on the chest of sleeping people and pins them in place. And then we go to today, where today's version of the sleep paralysis hallucination is most commonly seen as the Hat Man. So we literally went from almost exclusively hags sitting on chests to this new version. And that's kind of what I was alluding to, obviously, in my intro, because that's what you hear more commonly. And the the Hat Man, I've combined them. It's like the Avengers.
With their powers combined.
They shall sit on your chest. So the Hat Man made his grand appearance around the 1990s. So he was circulating literally around the world. And when I say him, it's not always exactly the same, but it's people waking up paralyzed to find a tall shadow figure watching them. And the figure always wore a wide-brimmed hat or a fedora. Which is interesting because that sounds a lot like the Men in Black sightings.
Right. Yeah, and that's interesting.
And that's commonly believed to be aliens.
Right. Yeah, bringing your...
Or multi-dimensional visitors.
Yeah.
Just saying, we're sounding real freaking weird in this episode. All of
this is your fault.
I know. I'm getting really like into this one too.
I know. It's like I feel like I have so many thoughts, but I want you to keep going.
So the Hat Man, he will always linger in doorways or corners of the room, which is interesting because I was dozing, so maybe it was partially the sleep paralysis or whatever. But the figure I saw was a tall man standing in a doorway. It was fucking
he have a
weird.
hat?
I don't remember. I just know he was huge and a dude and in my doorway.
Right.
So the Hat Man will remain silent and watching. And sometimes it would approach the bed and lean over the person in it, but often he would just watch. Now, obviously, sightings of the Hat Man skyrocketed once it could spread across the internet, because people would be like on Reddit and other things sharing their stories. He's very common. He's basically like the Slender Man. However, there's more of a clinical side to it because people bring this to their doctors. They bring it to their psychiatrists like, hey, I'm having fucking nightmares. I've seen this goddamn thing in my room. Like, it's a thing. It's not just a story.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, he's real in a sense that people are truly seeing him during sleep paralysis.
And, like, a lot of people, like, I can't understand how a culture can collectively have, like, similar. I do get that, but it's still, like...
It's like some weird shared hallucination that's even shared with people who haven't talked to or read a story of someone else having it.
Exactly.
And it's such a specific visual that it doesn't have any biological reason. Like, you can think, okay, a brain biologically might create a monster or a demon, maybe, except they don't exist in theory.
Right.
So, like, it would make sense if it was like a bear or something like that.
Right, that's what I think, like...
But a man in a hat.
Like, if you're fearful...
Right.
Yeah, like...
You'd expect a brain to make something that's a real threat.
Right.
Versus a perceived threat, which could be, it could be influenced by media, but then media is not the same globally. So...
Right.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Another interesting fact about the Hat Man is that people taking high doses of Benadryl actually have the same hallucination. They have a Hat Man sighting, and it's not even when they're like, it's not even sleep paralysis. It's when they're just really drugged up. They see the Hat Man, and he behaves exactly the same.
My, I don't know if I should share this, but my grandma doesn't listen to the podcast, but she, when she's on painkillers, she sees Men in Black.
No fucking way. I just got chills.
Okay,
well, I'm jumping ahead. No, I wrote this later, but like...
It's random. Like, my grandma, like, why that? Like, grandma.
Yeah, like, I don't remember where I put this in my notes, but part of me feels like if this is something that's really happening, there must be some sort of entity that lives in, like, liminal in-between spaces. Like, you're in between consciousness and fucking doped out, or consciousness and being asleep.
It, like, opens you a bit. Like...
Yeah, and, like, if everybody's seeing the same thing, it almost makes me feel like there are these things all the time, and you just have to be in a certain place to see them or to hear them. And, like, God.
You kind of have to, like, quote, let your guard down. Like, you know, like...
And it's like, I don't know. It would seem crazy because there are so many scientific ways to explain it. But, and I talk about this somewhere else too, it's like, a lot of us learning these things about the brain, they're actually pretty new. Like, we still have things, even with sleep paralysis, we're like, why did that happen? I'm like, I don't know. Brains are weird.
There was a time in history when we were convinced that the Earth, the sun went around the Earth.
Right.
So it's like, maybe science, it can be wrong.
Right. And you have to think, too, like, the timeline of our scientific discoveries is actually really short. Like,
if you look at, like, a timeline, it's like for thousands and thousands of years, it was pretty much the same. And it was like, boom.
Right.
Crazy.
And, yeah, we're all, because it just happens to fall, like, I'm basically at the ending of my notes right now, because it just makes sense to say it now. But, like, I literally wrote that, the mid-1800s that was when they started even thinking that it could be the brain and not spirits. Like, up until then, it had always been a witch or a demon. But it was mid-1800s, so they're like, oh, maybe it's the brain. And then in 1950s, they named REM sleep.
It's not that long ago.
No, and we still don't know why the hallucinations have similarities. And why do they have behavior? Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I guess, point being, we're starting to sound like that one guy in Ghostbusters who was the parascientist
Yeah.
or whatever. That's the calling I missed.
It's not too late.
No, I mean, we're
I
basically
just
doing
saw a
it.
quote that like modern women at 39 is when they career pivot.
I'm trying to do it now, man.
Yeah, you're doing it now.
Jesus Christ.
Don't have to wait till 39. Well, 39 is the average, so some people gotta do it sooner.
I'm both above and below average at the same time. Yay.
Me too.
All right, well, I'm going to loop back to where I was in my notes.
Yeah,
and then
sorry.
we can... No,
I'm
this is
taking notes on
good.
that.
We like the topic. That's why I wanted to do it. So, back to the Hat Man. A creepy fact that multiple people point out from their Hat Man sightings is that he doesn't move until they've realized they can't. So, once they realize they're paralyzed, is when...
Now's my time.
Which goes back to the Newfoundland hag, or whichever one it was, where she would change when they noticed her.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, when they noticed each other, basically. Yeah.
So yeah, to summarize all of the Hat Man's weirdness, he watches, he reacts to being seen, he starts in the doorway, his hat is visible no matter how dark the room is. People say he feels evil or like he means harm. Like, his presence in the room is described as feeling wrong, paranormal. Like, it's never just, I saw this thing, it was weird, that was terrifying, it wanted to hurt me. And he never makes any sounds. He's totally silent. And he appears cross-culturally.
I know who it is. It's the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, maybe he's just like, damn it, another one didn't die.
Well, that's what, like, maybe it's like, oh, this person is really still.
Honestly, yeah.
And then, like, is this my time? Oh, wait, it's not my time.
Or like, what if, that gave me chills, what if, like, because there are a lot of cultures and stories that when you're sleeping, your spirit does leave your body a little bit. Mm-hmm. And, like, what if they were starting to float up and they see him and then he's like, is it going back? And then you get back into your body, you can move, and he's like, damn it.
Come back later.
Damn, that would suck. That would suck if it's the Grim Reaper. What if everybody has their own Grim Reaper?
Like,
we're all assigned one, and it's
like,
just there.
like, there's, we all have our own guardian angel, if you
The guardian
believe.
angel is the Grim Reaper. And it's just waiting. Anyways.
We could?
Um...
I want to do an episode on Grim Reapers.
Yeah,
I find them fascinating.
Yeah, so I have a bunch of bullshit notes that we already talked about.
Oh, sorry. I messed up Emily's notes.
No, it's fine. It's good. I like that it came up in a conversation, but it's basically, about liminal spaces and being between waking and asleep and having to be in the right spot to see it. Mm-hmm. Go back to psychology a little bit, because apparently psychologists call these kind of hallucinations intruder hallucinations. Which is an interesting fit if you think, okay, is it a hallucination of an intruder or is it an intruder?
Right.
A spiritual intruder, perhaps. I don't know. It's just interesting when hallucinations, you can explain them, but then you also
there's
can't.
this part of it that it's like, but what about this?
Yeah.
But what? Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, all of these explanations were totally paranormal until very recently, and still people are like,
but there's this little part that just doesn't make sense.
It still kind of feels paranormal to me.
Yeah. And maybe they're like, maybe it doesn't have to be like exclusive. Maybe
I don't think
like
it is.
both.
I think it's both for sure, because I think our brains can put us into a place to be able to perceive. Mm-hmm. And maybe paranormal isn't even the right word for it. Maybe it's just something we don't know yet. Like, that's what I believe with a lot of paranormals, that we just don't understand it yet.
Right. Yeah, like maybe it's just cross-dimensional or layered time.
Like, I don't want to think they're just creepy dudes in black suits and hats on the other side of some sort of invisible veil, but maybe there are. I don't know why.
Time lords. I don't know.
I hope so, because they're kind of hot. Friggin' David Tennant? Come on.
Yeah.
Take me, David. Ew. He was like, no. That one's broken.
Yeah, goodbye. I'll send the other guy.
Yeah, you get the weird.
You get the
time
hag.
word. Damn it! I would get the hag. But yeah, sleep and the brain are just unexplored territories in so many ways. It's like, yes, we have some understanding and some findings, but a lot of it is still just unknown. And the science and the medication and the treatments are just constantly changing. Like, stuff 20 years ago that they thought would help is now like barbaric. It's just like,
So what is another 20 years gonna show?
That's from like 20 years from now, it's gonna be totally different. And whether it's because we found some big discovery or we just found out, oh, we're looking at that wrong.
You're right.
Like, it's totally possible. And it's all inside our own heads. And like, that makes you wonder all of the other things we don't understand. Mm-hmm. I sound high. I'm not.
No, she's gonna start hallucinating.
I hope so.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, but I think, like you said, I think it's a little bit of both. A little bit of science, a little bit of paranormal. Maybe it's all the same thing. It's just we're trying to make up explanations for things that don't fucking make sense. But I think there being a little bit of the paranormal would explain why so many people are just convinced that it is something in the room with them. And I know when I saw the shadow figure, felt fucking real to me.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just like, oh, my brain was playing tricks on me. It was, there was somebody in my doorway. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't dismiss, like, how someone feels. you know?
And, like, that's kind of what I ended it with, is just, like, a lot of people can't accept that their experience has an entirely scientific explanation. Like, it just sat with them more heavily than that.
Right.
And you can explain, like, the terror and everything. That is understandable. Like,
Yeah, like, I get a lot of it. There is some facts to it. Like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But what about...
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that the stories have persisted for so long, and there's a reason why they are still happening, and there's a reason why they are scary after you have them and you know the explanation. Like, you can see all the steps and you can understand logically why that would happen until you're like, oh, why did somebody in Japan have the exact same dream?
Right.
That's weird.
It's very weird because you're raised differently culturally. You have different faith beliefs. Like, yeah.
So that's sleep paralysis, and I have heard before that talking about it makes it more likely to have it. So
That is wild that you've never experienced it.
I don't want to. No, literally, I have vivid dreams too, but I have always sleptwalked a ton, not as much recently.
I wonder if you have one or the other.
Well, you can have disordered sleep where you move too much.
Yeah.
Like, in your REM sleep. I don't necessarily have that because I'm not, like, freaking punching people and stuff, but I would have, when I was a kid, I'd have a dream that I had this when we were camping, where I had a dream I got up and walked out of my tent. And I did. I got up and I tried to get out of my tent, but I couldn't because I was asleep. So I just laid back down and I woke up facing the other direction. And I would sleepwalk all the time and talk. And, like, now I have things where I run out of my bed and stuff. And, like, I guess I'm slightly more active in my sleep. So maybe I don't get into that full lock mode.
Right. That's what, I'm wondering if
I don't know.
As you kind of have, if people have, like, one or the other maybe, but.
Yeah, like, maybe I'm just less prone to locking. I don't know.
I will say, I'm trying to, like, think back to times I've had sleep paralysis. It tends to happen for me when I'm extremely tired. So, like, the last time I had it was after MSP.
Really?
That's
terrifying.
Like, it's like and maybe it's part of, like, REM getting interrupted. Like, I'm so deep asleep.
Yeah.
Because I was, like, for instance, at MSP, I was up all night and then drove 3 hours. Like, I was extremely tired. So it's like But then what brought me out of it?
Right. And then that goes back to our theory of, are we in that liminal space where you were able to hear those, I'm putting this in quotes, those hallucinatory, those audio, those audio hallucinations. There we go. I almost pulled out a D&D spell, hallucinatory terrain. I don't know, maybe because maybe you're the kind of person that hears things more than sees them.
Yeah,
like, it's interesting, your hallucinations are almost always audible. And I have heard, I mean, this is a totally random reference, but I listened to the podcast Distractable, and they were talking about the auditory hallucinations a lot too, where they'd say they'd literally be falling asleep and then hear somebody in the room whispering or something.
So it's not just me.
No, it's not. Like, it's a thing our brains, I guess, do, or is it?
Or is it right?
And I always find that interesting with like mediums too, because I want to know how they're perceiving the things they see. Like, is it like what you experience where you hear something and they say that was a spirit, whereas you say I was half asleep,
Right.
or like where I feel like I have a vivid imagination, so I see something and I say that was my imagination, or was it?
Yeah, like we're more dismissive of it, so then our brain
Yeah.
like cuts off the connection. But what if like we lean into that, or would we
Right.
hear things more?
So I've always
that's
wondered,
interesting.
and if there are any psychics listening to us, if you could like send us a message or a DM or something and like let us know how you perceive, oh my god, how you perceive things, because that's something we've talked about a lot, and we want to understand, like,
I think it's
Yeah.
so fascinating and interesting.
yeah. And it's, I mean, we've seen things.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to know maybe how to be more open to it, because literally we're doing this freaking all the time. But
Right.
yeah, it's just a curiosity, like, what does that feel like when you're actually aware of what you're doing and seeing versus just stumbling through it,
Yeah.
asking blindly for attachments? Totally fine.
It's normal.
Yeah, we're totally safe. Literally gonna have a job interview tomorrow, and they're gonna be like, what do you do? And I'm gonna be like, don't talk about ghosts, don't talk about
Yeah,
ghosts,
like,
don't talk about
which
ghosts.
version of this do I tell them?
I'm not this person. Don't look me up on Instagram.
You could say you have a history podcast. A history and
They're like-
science.
they're like, oh, you like history? And I'm like, I do, but it's not my part of it. How do you feel about paranormal theory?
Right.
Have you ever seen Shadow Man?
You could just be like, well, you could word it as like, I like scientific theories. It's a
Be like, I like to edit audio in my free time.
there you go. You're freelance.
I freelance. Yeah, that's all I got on sleep paralysis. Hopefully neither of us and none of you get it as a result of thinking about it too much.
I'm probably have insomnia tonight now because I'm going to be afraid. It is hella scary.
I'm not gonna have insomnia because I barely slept last night, so.
So she is. Then that means this is when it's going to happen. Because you're extra tired.
I barely move when I first wake up anyways. I probably wouldn't even know.
No, you wouldn't
I just
even
be
know.
like this. Oh.
Like, this is the best.
For 2 minutes, just like, oh my god. And then by the time I have the motivation to move, it's done.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know.
That would be hilarious if you actually are experiencing it and you just don't know.
It's just my everyday morning.
Yeah.
And then there's like a shadow demon in my corner, but Charlie's there hitting me and I don't have my glasses
So you
on,
can't
so
really
I don't
see.
even know. I'm just trying to dodge the dog paws. I'm like, big hit. And the demon's like, god damn it.
She's so distracted.
I can't scare this blind bitch. That's me. Well, I never remember how to end this damn podcast.
Well, first we must plug ourselves.
Plugs.
Why that came out so odd. Anyways.
Oh no.
Follow us on Instagram at Remnants Paranormal and TikTok at Remnants.paranormal. And please leave us a review. No, wait, you can just make it 5 stars and then you can just go, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, thank you. Like, how did you come up with that? Like, that is weird. Something wrong with that
You can just
girl.
write that. That's fine. It doesn't need to be real world. Real
How do you
words.
think we'd spell that? Oh.
I feel like there's some E's in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Wow.
never very good at phonics. You know that quote from New Girl where Nick's like, I don't think I can actually read. I just memorized a bunch of words. That's how I totally feel because
That's how everybody fucking reads. It's
Yeah,
just
but
how
like,
it
no, I
works.
don't know how to sound out words. Like,
I don't either.
Like, I literally don't.
There's so many words where I'm like, I don't.
That's like I couldn't say cholera that one time.
I don't remember what you said. Did you say cholera? Cholera.
Yeah, I think it was like cholera.
Cholera, Caleb. No, I have a lot of words though where I've been like, I've only ever read this. I don't know. How
Yeah,
to say
well, I think it's like cholera. I'd only ever like heard
Cholera.
it, and so then I saw it spelled,
Sounds like a
and I was
drug.
like, how do I say this? I don't know what this word is. Anyways, I don't really know where I was going with that. Stay spooky.
And stay curious.
Yes.
Ah! Gotta do the dad start.